guys, welcome back to Exotic Foods with Abby. Today we're going to be cooking lamington. To cook lamington, you need sweetened coconut flakes, vanilla, sugar, self-rising flour, milk, coconut because you want to cook them together because one's fresh and one's not, and then 3 eggs, 12 grams of butter. So to get started, we put in the 12 grams of butter into our mixing bowl. Just like that. And then we will put 1 cup of caster sugar, which is basically just sugar. You take the 1 cup and scoop the sugar. That's not 1 cup. So about that much, and then you pour it in with the butter. Next, we'll need a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So we'll take the vanilla and the teaspoon, and we'll pour the vanilla into the teaspoon. And then you'll pour it into the teaspoon, and then careful not to drip it like I just did, and then you'll pour it into the mixing bowl. Next, we'll do our 3 eggs. So you want to be careful that you don't get any eggshells into the mixture because then it won't taste good. I'm going to crack the eggs into the 1 cup measuring so I don't have to get another bowl. So you crack it lightly on the side, then break it apart, and then you repeat this procedure 3 times. Now we mix it all together. Mix it together till it's around this consistency, like it's a liquid. Now we will take 1 3/4 cup of self-rising flour. Okay, so once you get your bag open, because it takes quite a while, you need to do 3/4 cups of the 1/4. You can kind of see that. So you go 1, 2, and 3. Now you will need to take the 1 cup measurement and do a 1 cup of flour. One cup, and dump it in the mixer. Now you can mix the flour in with everything else, like this. The flour at a low speed so it doesn't fly up everywhere. I'm cooking it at 1 now because when I go that, it goes everywhere. So just a little bit of head warning, a little bit of a warning. Well, about this consistency, and then you're ready for the milk. With the milk, we'll do a 1/2 cup of milk, and then we'll pour it in and mix it in. Meet you guys then. On the recipe it says to do 2 cups of dissected coconut, but I'm going to do 1 cup of this type of coconut and then 1 cup of this, so it balances everything out. So let the cupping begin. So I'm going to pour it in. If it wants to come in. I guess it does not want to come in. Hold on. Shake it a little so that it comes out. Okay, so once you get about a cup, you're going to pour it. I don't quite have a cup yet. stand by. In the recipe it says to do 2 cups of dissected coconut. But I'm going to do 1 cup of this and then 1 cup of this coconut. So once you have poured about a cup, I'll add a little more. But once you pour about a cup in, you're going to dump it in with everything else. And then you're going to do the same thing with this coconut. So you're going to pour that coconut in with everything else. And you can see the contrast between the 2 different types of coconut. It's really actually cool to see the different ways. So yeah, then you're gonna mix that together. Usually I'm not a coconut person, but it's actually quite hard to taste the coconut in Lamington. I didn't even know there was coconut in it when I first had it. So that's a cool fact about Lamington. Lamington was originally made in Australia, where oh my goodness. Some fun facts about Lamington. It was made accidentally by a maid to Lord Lamington. She dropped his sponge in chocolate. Well, it's sponge cake in chocolate. Lord Lamington suggested that the sponge be dipped in coconut to avoid messy fingers. It turns out that the maid's error was actually... This is what it should look like after everything's mixed. Because I followed these instructions, and this is what it came out as. So I'm going to pour it into this pan. I don't know what size pan it is, but I know Lamington has to be pretty thick. And that's about like that much, so it's good. And then you take this spray, and then you go all along the... Did that even hit the pan? No, it didn't, but you get the idea. There. And then you pour the batter into the pan, and then you put it in the oven. You need to preheat the oven at a temperature of 375. And then you cook it for about 55 minutes. And I will check back in with you guys while we're pouring the batter. So after you put everything in the pan, it should look like this. And then we're going to put it in the oven. And while it cooks, I'm going to make the icing that it'll be dipped in when it's hopefully spongy. So let's go put this bad boy in the oven. So here it is, and here's the oven. You open up the oven, careful not to burn yourself. You grab an oven mitt. You need to pull something out of the oven. You don't want to burn yourself. Actually, I want to use this oven mitt. I'm scared of that oven mitt. Hello there, friends. Sorry. So, you're going to pull the oven. Pull the oven out. Pull the rack thing. Then you're going to put this sucker in. Push it back on up. And pull up the door. There you go. Bake it for 55 minutes. Let's go make the icing. Okay, so now that the Lamington has been taken out of the oven, we're going to make the icing, the chocolate icing that it's in. For this, you need powdered sugar, cocoa powder, and a tablespoon of butter, and a half a cup of boiling water. We will do 3.5 cups of powdered sugar. You take the half cup measurement, and then you put it in the powdered sugar, enough to get about half a cup, and then you dump it in the mixer. Then you're going to get a 1/4 of cocoa powder, a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. So you can just put the powdered sugar away, because we won't be needing it anymore. So we'll take the 1/4 cup. And here's what cocoa powder looks like. It smells really good, but if you eat it, it's actually really bitter. So I wouldn't be taste testing cocoa powder. So you get about 1/4 cup, and then you're gonna put it in the mixing bowl, and then we're going to mix it together at a low temperature, just like we did with the flour for the Lamington, so it doesn't go everywhere. Because then clothes will have flour all over it, and the countertop will have flour all over it. So I'm gonna stir it at a 1 so that it doesn't fly everywhere. So we'll just let that stir in together for a little while. So once that's all mixed together, we'll need a tablespoon of butter. So you'll take the butter. Oh, that's a bad camera angle. So you'll take the butter and just have to like slowly guide it out, and then it'll be in the mixer. And then we'll need to mix the butter in. Now, after the butter's all mixed in, we're going to add our boiling water, which I think I'm going to put in the microwave for 20 seconds because it needs to be boiling. So, see you in 20 seconds. The way that you know the water is boiling is when little bubbles appear. The bubbles went away just now, but you can still see the steam. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the water and pour it into the mixing bowl. And then you're going to mix the water in you're going to mix the boiling water in with the cocoa powder, the 10x sugar. I realized that I just forgot that there's 3.5 cups of 10x sugar and not just half a cup. So I'm going to do 3 of these quickly so that the icing doesn't... See, this looks much more better consistency now that I added 3 cups of powdered sugar, because on the directions it says 3.5 cups. I only did the half a cup. So make sure that you put 3 cups too, and it'll come to about this consistency. So now we'll get the Lamington and the icing, and then we'll ice the Lamington. So there's 2 ways that you can do this. You can either dip the Lamington in the icing, or you can take the icing and spread it. Because of time, I'm going to spread the icing onto the Lamington. By the way, this is what the Lamington came out as. So yeah. It looks okay, so I'm hoping it tastes okay too. Alright, so I'm going to spread the icing onto the Lamington. Here's what it looks like, all frosted. Now we just have to put the coconut bits on top, so I'm going to put half of it with coconut and half of it with coconut on like that side, because shocker, my family doesn't really like coconut, so I'm going to pull some of them so they can try it. So it's just like not me, because like I'll say, oh, it's great, when it really might not be. So I'm going to pull some family members to try. So in answer to your question, I can't wait to try this. The chocolate and the coconut look really good. He chose a piece with coconut. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give it?
Well, the chocolate and coconut is divine. The bread is the cake is a little dry, but it definitely is a 9. I would say if that cake were moist, this would be a 10. It's amazing.
Or maybe it's not that moist because I made it on Friday and today's Sunday. That might be why, but thank you for your opinion, Dad. Next person.